What's up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at and reviewing the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which dropped today on Wednesday. Now, me personally, I might have a different reaction to this movie than most people because I grew up on these games. I played a ton of Super Mario as a kid, and even more Mario Kart, probably. Most of these I played on the Nintendo DS. They are so addicting. If anything, this makes me want to hop on my Switch right now and start playing the game again. Now, let's talk about this movie and whether or not it was any good. So in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Mario must team up with Princess Peach to save his brother Luigi from Bowser's clutches and stop Bowser from taking over Mushroom Kingdom. It's a pretty simple plot. This movie comes to us from Illumination. I struggle to think of many other Illumination animated films off the top of my head. I just know Despicable Me. That whole franchise is pretty decent. I didn't have super high expectations for this movie or anything, but as a fan of the games, I was just hoping it would be entertaining and fun. Above all else, what I will say, this movie is made for fans of the games. With that said, though, I do think they provide just enough context about this world so newcomers won't be completely out of the loop. And the movie's about 90 minutes long. I'm glad that they didn't pad out the runtime with needless exposition. One compliment that I can absolutely give is that the animation in this movie is breathtaking. I can't believe how well they realized this world, these characters. It all looks incredible. There's a lot of nods and Easter eggs and sort of sound cues from the games. Obviously, you come into this expecting something like that. Some of them do feel a little bit forced in my opinion, while others they were able to weave sort of more organically into the plot. It's still satisfying though to see them bring these things to live action. It's a platformer game, so of course you're going to be having a sequence where Mario has to sort of learn how to jump from platforms and use the mystery boxes to get power-ups. By the way, that's actually one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Mario first is sort of forced to practice in one of these courses, because it sort of reminds me of the first time I sat down to play the game and sort of get used to the mechanics. Not that I remember the specific time that I first ever played Super Mario Brothers, but it just gave off a really positive sort of fun vibe. And of course, it's super satisfying to hear the soundtrack kick in at certain times. There are some scenes that I think overuse pop songs. I'm like, yeah, I enjoy the sound cues when they're there, but I almost wish they would have used them more and in place of some of these pop songs. A lot of music from the 80s is used in this movie, and it's a kid's film, so I don't really think many kids will really pick up on that, although maybe people that played the games back when they first came out will get a little bit more enjoyment out of that. I'm not sure. Perhaps the biggest double-edged sword of this movie is that it does the absolute bare minimum when it comes to having a plot. And again, I don't think many people are going to be going into this expecting a really complex story, but they could have done a little bit more to at least give the characters some room to breathe at 90 minutes, or I think even less than 90 minutes before the credits start rolling. It just feels like there wasn't much time to develop many of the characters. They go the whole typical route of Mario sort of being a dissatisfying son to his parents and his family, and sort of going on this journey to save the world, sort of is used as an instrument to prove to them that he's able to do more, and his greatest quality being that he never quits. Sort of fits with the games, I guess, since you can die pretty much in unlimited times, even though you get pushed back in the levels. Again, I do wish they did more with it, though. This is definitely not a very character or story-centric movie. It's very much focused on nostalgia and sort of bringing those winks and nods to the games front and center. With that said, I was pretty impressed with the voice cast. I wasn't super happy when I first heard that Chris Pratt was going to be voicing Mario. He surprisingly does a good job with the Brooklyn accent to the point that I almost forgot he was playing Mario at certain times. Charlie Day as Luigi, excellent. Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, great. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, great comic relief. He has a lot of great funny moments. A lot of the humor in this is pretty childish. Like, if you're a full-grown adult, you're probably not going to be gasping out in laughter. But again, it's a kid's movie. I don't expect it to be super over the top. And thankfully, there's no really low-hanging fruit jokes in this movie, like people getting hit in the balls or fart jokes. Those are the worst. Can we just stop doing those in kids' movies? Bowser and Donkey Kong were fine, but I think they were totally underutilized. Again, they have next to nothing to do in this movie because it's so short, and they aren't really introduced until later into the movie. Well, at least with Donkey Kong. Bowser is introduced right away, and of course Jack Black's voice is great to hear. He's probably giving the most energy out of the cast here, but I think they definitely could have done more with Bowser, particularly when they move into the third act. Again, while I didn't really expect anything in particular from the story, I do just feel a general lack of heart from this movie, which is a little bit disappointing. In the end, it's definitely a mixed bag of a film. In many ways, I feel like it's a missed opportunity because if they had crafted like a really genuinely good story, again, doesn't have to be super complex, but just a little bit more room for the characters to breathe and sort of develop on their own, this could have been a great film. As it stands, it's okay. As a huge fan of the games myself, I feel that I got my money's worth. So that's why I'm curious what people who don't play the games will think of this. Will they feel completely robbed of this movie because it's just a nonstop conveyor belt of winks and nods to the games? Oh well, I thought it was amusing enough. The audience that I saw it with laughed and cheered and clapped at the end of it. So I think it's safe to say that general audiences or casual audiences are going to find this entertaining enough to give a thumbs up. So I'm going to give Super Mario Bros. 3 out of 5. Again, probably won't ever rewatch this movie. If anything, I'll probably just go hop on the Switch and play some Super Mario Bros. Or some Mario Kart. But it's fine. It does the bare minimum. It's just entertaining enough for me to give it a thumbs up myself. Again, so I want to know what people think of this movie. Let me know down in the comments. Are you a fan of the games? If so, does it live up to the expectations that you had? If you don't play the games, do you feel that this was just a wink and nod to the people who do play the games and nothing more? As always, guys, be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.